Hello everyone, it's Peter from whatculture.com. We're here at EGX, we're outside. It might rain. I don't know if it's going to rain.
It's doing a spittle.
It's doing a spittle. I'm with Ben Potter from whatculture.com, also at EGX, with me, standing right here.
Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah. We have just been playing Far Cry.
Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5,
yeah,
if you want to get serious about this. And we've come to tell you all about our first impressions about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was sort of set in a compound that you had to capture, much like the outposts from the previous Far Cry game. Oh boy, is it Far Cry. It is very much just a Far Cry game. If you're used to Far Cry, that's kind of what you're getting here. The setting's different.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, mechanically, oh boy, is it Far Cry.
Yes, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like, everything feels exactly like a Far Cry game.
But when you account for the setting, I feel that it actually took me a little bit away from the Far Cry slightly rinse and repeat style.
Oh, really?
In a good way. Like, I was like, this feels slightly fresher just being in, I guess, a Western...
Sort of Western, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, maybe it put me on the back foot initially because my console, I think to a lesser extent yours, but mine had really bad input lag. So I'd go like that on the analog stick and then it would go, oh.
Yeah.
So it felt like I was sliding on ice the whole time I was playing the game and I was having to overcorrect. And I don't know why they were demoing it like that. I couldn't believe it, really.
My input lag wasn't as bad as yours, but I had some serious issues with mine, and it got to the point where I stopped about halfway through the demo and turned and just watched Ben play his for the rest, because I captured an outpost, and the cutscene that was playing of a guy putting a flag on the roof, there was no man. The flag just went like that, and then it like panned down to the road and there were just guns walking along by themselves. And then when that cutscene ended, I was like soft locked into the world. Seemed to be moving, but my guy was just frozen. So
oh dear.
I don't have a great deal of experience with this game.
Yeah, maybe we were just both very unlucky, but again, that's two of us being unlucky on two separate occasions. It does seem to be a really interesting setting. I love the whole imagery of, you know, religion going a bit mental in Southern America or whatever. That's a really interesting concept. Leaving politics out of it, that's an interesting concept, and I'd quite like to see how that plays out. Again, gameplay-wise, very Far Cry.
Very Far Cry.
If you like Far Cry, you're going to like this. So just fingers crossed, really, that the story's really good. At the start, it gave us a choice of a sort of companion to have with you, which I don't know if it's just sort of because it said E3 demo at the start of it, so it's the demo they were showing at E3. I don't know if it's just something they've purpose-built for the E3 demo that you can choose a companion, or if you can just bring a buddy with you as you collect them through the game or whatever. But one of the buddies was a dog.
Little doggy boy.
You can have a dog that comes with you and you can send him to go and look at stuff, and he trots along behind you and attacks enemies and so on and so forth. Weird thing that annoyed me though, when you get in a vehicle, the dog doesn't jump in, it just sort of runs in the distance behind you, and the mirrors as well. So I was looking out the car door to look at the mirrors to try and see where the dog was, and they've done that really cheap PS2 thing of just blur.
Yeah.
Here's a smudgy blur.
It vaguely reflects what is visible.
Stuff,
but
there's a van coming, I think.
yeah, there is a van. We're actually, I didn't realise we're standing in a parking space here.
She's not looking at us.
Don't worry about it. We're fine.
Okay,
I think on the whole, there seem to be a couple of issues, either actual design issues such as the window, the mirrors.
Yeah. Oh god.
But I also she wants to run you over.
I think she's reversing into a space. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah, we're good. But also from an actual delivery point of view, in terms of this build seemed a little bit flim-flam flobbly.
Yeah, it may not represent the final product whatsoever, but just be aware that if we are coming off as negative, it's probably because that coloured our experience of it just a little bit. I could barely play it and yours stopped working.
Yes.
So
but there was plenty of like wild action to be had. They gave you a whole like weapons wheel of stuff to play with.
Yeah. I was throwing bait down and like coyotes and bears were just running out of the woods and stuff. So yeah.
There are baseball bats that you can just hurl at people.
Yeah, you can either use the baseball bat or you can just go and just throw it. And I had 4 baseball bats that I just then had to go and pick up afterwards. One hit kill. With a thrown baseball bat to the knee, just so you know.
That's fine. That's fine. So, trying to look beyond the issues with the build
Yes.
that were very evident. What are you excited about this? I wanted to sort of see how it stacks up to Outlast.
Yeah,
which
it's similar backwater, weird
religious
cult
thing,
stuff going
Christianity, and I wondered to what extent it was going to feel like that sort of thing all over again. And I think with having a bunch of guns and vehicles, it obviously completely sets it apart from a survival horror game in a good way. And I'm pleased that it's not just the same thing. But what do you think beyond the bugs?
Again, I think what's really going to keep me here is the story, because a lot of Ubisoft games I've sort of fallen out of favour with. Assassin's Creed, most of the Tom Clancy games like The Division and stuff, I feel like they're all quite cookie cutter in that they are all very similar. There's a wasp now on the camera.
There is a wasp on the camera.
What's going on?
My
It's
God,
just
that's
sitting on
really
a tripod
scary.
now. I don't know what to. Anyway, so yeah, really, story is paramount for me here.
Right.
If I'm having to go, oh, here's a new outpost, here's a million map markers to do. I don't really want that. I'm more in it for the story. So if the story's really good, then I'm totally in.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm the same. You know, as I say, I had even less sort of actual hands-on experience with that game than you did. But on the whole, I think, yeah, you don't want it to just be a giant map with,
Oh my God,
there's a
there it
wasp,
goes.
with a bunch, like, you know, a million markers on it, and like, go here to collect this thing and to capture this zone, and it really has very little effect on the narrative itself. You want something to drive you on, and
Absolutely.
only time will tell in that regard, I think.
We will see. We will see.
Yeah. But for now, stick with What Culture Gaming for loads more EGX coverage. We're going to shoot some more out here if the wasp doesn't come back. And
I think it landed on my head. I felt it.
Oh my God.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's quickly finish. I've been Peter from What Culture Gaming.
I've been Ben from What Culture Game.
And Wasp from What Culture Gaming, and we'll see you
Wasp
soon.
culture. Wasp culture.